in the metaphysical. My name is Sara Hayes. I am an artist potter. I've been living on St. Croix for 42 years this month. I'm a potter. I'm a clay artist. That's my life. That's what makes me happy. So after I graduated from college, it was the 70s and life was very free then. I moved to Chicago to live with one of my roommates, and we got kind of bored with the bar scene. So we decided to take some adult education classes. I chose pottery, and that was my first introduction to throwing on the wheel and working on the wheel. I never had it in school. I think I made an ashtray when I was in 5th grade that my father cherished and used forever in his workshop. But that's when I first got started. And over time, I took a few more classes, and eventually I moved back home with my parents, and my father built me a studio in the basement. Well, essentially, he cemented the floor and put in a sink, and I started practicing. When I moved to St. Croix, which was about 10 years after, I finally found that I was good enough to sell my work. And so I did a starving artist show, and things kind of went from there. Then I started teaching, and I love the process of creating. I get bored with things, and so I'm always looking to try new things. Being self-taught, I don't have any preconceived notions. So if I read about something in a magazine or I see something, oh, I'm going to try that. Which is, the pieces in this art show are reflective of that. It's something I saw, and I'm like, oh, that's how that's done. I'm going to do this. And so I guess it's just a joy of creating and getting my hands in the mud. When I don't do it for a couple of days, I miss it. I never thought that I would be an artist. Okay, I don't really know how to think like an artist. People ask me what I do. I'm like, well, I do clay. Oh, you're an artist. Well, okay. I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy having people enjoy my work. I work I'm part of a gallery in Christiansted, and someone will come in and say, oh, I bought one of your mugs 10 years ago. I use it every morning. That makes me feel wonderful. Well, I feel so honored to have been asked to be in this show. I am one of the few clay people on the island. I get all kinds of requests, from where do I get something fired to can I take a class to will you glue this? And I just do it. And I just feel so honored to have been asked to be part of this. And the way she displayed my work, I just absolutely blown away. The pieces, the 3 of the pieces in here were things that I had seen done on actually a television program. And I was like, oh, I'll try that. And so I did. And I kind of sometimes will get obsessed with a certain style. So I made a lot of these double-walled pots. The funny thing about it is that people didn't get it. They were very, very slow to sell. They kind of, because they're open weave, they look like luminaries, and people would say, where do I put the candle? And then they'd look, and there's no way for the light to really shine through, which I kind of like that whole concept, because it's something that isn't. It is, but it isn't. These I look at as art pieces. They can be used, they're functional. Most of the work that I do is functional. And these pieces can be used, but I see them as more as art pieces. I really want to make the kind of art that you see in a movie sitting up on somebody's living room shelf. That's the kind of art that I think these pieces are. These are the pieces and that's why they're in the show, and that's why I gave these to Lisa. I gave her some other stuff too, but she didn't like it. So people are really very amazed about clay. I'm so familiar with it that it's kind of hard for me to grasp that, but I have students that are like, really? You could do this? That's made of clay? I tell them, especially when I have younger kids, I said, toilets are made from clay. It's not something we think about every day, but it's real. So it's a very foreign to a lot of people, the clay, and it's what it can do. Because it's a long process, it's a totally transformative process.